T-Boys TV, we're here for a reaction to obviously Luton Town 2, Derby County 1. Obviously we're here with a regular, which is now Mike, and we're here with Jess for the first time on the channel as well. First of all, how are you both?
Yeah, Tyler, nice to see you, mate. All good, thank you. All good.
Oh, buzzing, mate, if I'm completely honest.
Great game. Well, with a comeback anyway. Typical comeback that we've had at home. Sheffield Wednesday vibes, wasn't it, really?
It was, Tyler. It's all about the result, isn't it? And let's be fair, the performance wasn't great. And like 89 minutes, we were sort of down and almost out. But, I mean, it's just 3 points. We dug down deep and Pelly was the difference at the end of the day. He came on as a sub, didn't he? And he just got the crowd buzzing again all of a sudden. And, we were kind of 5, 6 out of 10 for the rest of the game, and we were probably deserving to be 1-0 down, in fairness. I mean, it was a tight game, wasn't it? And I mean, it was typical Luton sort of performance all season long, really. We're better at home, but we weren't great tonight. But I mean, Pelly come on, gave the crowd a lift, and the rest is history, isn't it, mate?
Typical Pelly Ruddock. I mean, me and my dad were talking yesterday, saying we feel he's been a little bit disrespected, in the sense that he hasn't played enough for us. And again, the last couple of games he has had shaky moments before, when he was playing, but at the end of the day, he is that guy who does bring that benefit. And again, every time he scored a goal for Luton, I know it took a slight deflection, but they've been bangers.
Honestly, mate, I mean, he's a legend for us. We know that, and we all called him, Jess, didn't we? After the Middlesbrough game, I think that was the time when we had to suddenly start playing Pelly, because we've got 6 or 7 better midfielders than Pelly. Let's be fair about that. But I mean, he just gives his heart's on his sleeve every time, isn't it? And I mean, he was just on the bench, and we were a bit disrespectful to him, really. We just weren't giving him a chance. And Pelly's bouncing normally on the training pitch and with the lads in the dressing room and on the brace before the game, and he can't be the same Pelly really at the moment because the performances aren't there and he's not playing. But I mean, tonight, that's going to be worth its weight in gold now, isn't it? I mean, he's come on, he's played well, he's scored a goal, he's got us bouncing again. We've got 3 points, and I mean, he's going to be bloody bouncing on Monday, and whenever it is Monday, isn't it, now when we're back again? And we've got a big game Thursday, haven't we?
But I also think Pelly gets the Luton way. He understands that ethos of the game that you look at, arguably the squad now. And have we lost that bit of ethos apart from Pelly? You've lost Luke Berry, all of that kind of player things, and Pelly's that last kind of man standing almost to just fully get it. And fair play to him today for whacking that in the back of the net, to be fair, to almost solidify, I would argue, his place in the squad in the start 11. He's got a Rob Edwards has now got to make a decision for Boxing Day, isn't he? For who we playing Boxing Day?
Bristol City.
City away. He's got a point to play now, isn't he? Like, fair play to Pels.
That is a good point. I mean, I don't think Pelly will start, but he's got to be given 30 minutes off the bench, I think, on Thursday against Bristol City, because that's kind of what he does. I'm not sure he's the best player to start now, but I mean, he just gives us all that 100%, doesn't he? And I mean, he was just brilliant today. I mean, the crowd were baying for him to come on, and we said it like for 6 weeks. I mean, just get him on the pitch. Yeah. And he gave 20 minutes.
He gets Luton, doesn't he, Pelly? He's as we all know, he's a club legend. He just makes that impact, and he gets the crowd going. He may not have been a crowd favourite arguably a few years ago, but nowadays people want to see him. He gets that whole Luton kind of attitude, ethos to just dig in and completely give it a go. So
he does.
Fair play to him today for getting that goal, absolutely.
Is that his first goal since Wickham down here that time in the banging his watch? I think it probably is, isn't it?
Stoke actually.
Stoke, yeah, he got a goal there, didn't he? Yeah. But I mean, let's be fair. I mean, just Pelly is a flipping legend,
Luton
like you said,
legend,
Jess. So
absolutely.
Just keep playing. And it gives Rob breathing space as well. I know we won the game, but Pelly gets fans on Rob's side all of a sudden, because we all know he's a legend, and you just can't leave him on the bench all the time because he's just baying to play. And he's played, we're not after timing, he's played and he's done it. So just get him started again on Thursday at some point.
And I think we've been missing a lot of him this season, in the sense of, like we say, the dressing room situation, it hasn't really been there. And, with him, I feel he has probably felt a bit disrespected that he hasn't played enough. So he's probably, it's probably quite hard for him to try and get himself up, like we say. Obviously he can in the changing room. You see it, even the match day pictures before games. You always see him having a laugh with Chong or someone like that. So I totally agree.
And that must be hard for him to get up for that when he's not playing and when the team are losing games and things. But Rob always says what an influence Pelly is behind the scenes. But it must be hard for Pelly. But that's going to be easy for him now Monday morning, isn't it? He's going to be bouncing all of a sudden.
But we were saying today, it's easy to put a smile in on the training pitch, but when it comes to the actual 90 minutes on a Saturday afternoon, Friday evening, whenever the game is, different ball game, isn't it? Realistically, it's very easy for them to put a smile on and go, yeah, things are all a bit cushy, but until they put a performance in, and as we've said constantly through this, it's like fair play to Pels, man.
And it's all about the result, isn't it? The thing is, now we've got to back it up on Thursday, haven't we? I mean,
and as Mike said, it's not necessarily the best performance we've put in. We was all going to leave at 90 minutes, to be fair. We was all going to come back down to the pub and have a few pints, but it's the way football works, isn't it? It's the arguably the best game in the world. So
and it's fine margins, isn't it? I mean, Rob would have been booed off the pitch if it was like 1-0 defeat, and suddenly 1-1, he's got a bit of breathing space, but 2-1, he's suddenly a hero again.
That's toxic down there if we lose 1-0 to Derby County, absolutely, because they, all respect to them, they're not a great side. They probably made us look better than what we were, and we got 2 lucky goals where we maybe stuck our foot in a little bit, but 3 points is all that matters at the end of the day.
And I think Derby, to be fair, they're doing what we did that first season in the Championship. They're a bit, people don't realise quite how good they are, and they've given it a proper go. I think they'll struggle, Derby, this season now. I think Derby and Portsmouth and Oxford will struggle, but they're just a bit of a team that people don't realise quite how good they are. And they've got the handbrake off Derby, haven't they? They can just give it a go. And I mean, they hammered Portsmouth, was it last week, 4-0?
Yeah, last Friday.
Yeah, so I mean, that was a decent result. And I mean, but Portsmouth are in trouble, I think, aren't they, really?
Absolutely.
So, and I don't think there's any way we're going to go down. Forget tonight's result, we weren't going to go down anyway. I think our home form's going to keep us up, to be fair. I'm not being big-headed, but I think we'll just stay up anyway.
And you look at what we was I know we're probably dreaming of playoffs and everything this season, but the season that we went up, we were 13th at Christmas, so you can't necessarily knock anything that anyone's done. We're maybe not just performing the way that Luton fans are expecting us to perform, but if we're there on the table and getting the points, then you can't.
I mean, that is so true. It's how you finish the season, not how you start it. And I mean, if we can finish it strong, we'll have a good 3-4 months ahead of us, won't we?
Final thing before we wrap up, I'll ask you both, man of the match for tonight?
Yeah, so it wasn't Chong. I mean, they gave it to Chong. No, it wasn't
Chong.
Chong. I mean, Holmes I thought played well. I thought Morris played well. I thought Krause played well, really. Krause played probably maybe Krause, but definitely not Chong, which the sponsors gave to. So I'd go Krause, probably.
Pelly, Ruddock and Panzu.
Yeah, that'll do. Nice.
Yeah, I was thinking that. A lot of the subs are very impactful. And again, you have to give Rob Edwards the credit. It works. You know, Joe Taylor was a lot more in this game. Obviously, was his foul, wasn't it, for the first goal as well?
Yeah.
So, you look at that as well. Obviously, Ruddock getting a goal. Woodrow's deliveries were good as well. I was surprised when he took the first
I
one.
feel a bit sorry for Woodrow, to be fair to him. I think he gets a lot of stick for what the overall team does. He maybe come on in the last, 10, 20 minutes, but I think Woodrow gets a lot of unnecessary stick when he comes on as a sub, and it's not necessarily worthy, to be fair to him, but if I'm answering your question, it's Pelly, Ruddock and Panzu every single day of the week.
And I think Woodrow, he's got it up there. He's like Sheringham. He hasn't got the pace now anymore, but he's got it up there. He can kind of see 2 or 3 moves ahead. And I know he's not quite the level he was 2 years ago for us, but he's a decent player still, Woodrow, isn't he?
He does always chip in with them goals, as much as he got a lot of criticism. I mean, I just done a reaction. I'd talk about Woodrow and someone walked past when he was crap.
No,
and I'm not even his biggest fan, but today I thought his crosses were brilliant, and they led to the goals, didn't they?
And it's almost Corley's 2-year anniversary from the Norwich goal on Boxing Day a couple of years ago, which was excellent for us, wasn't it?
So, and we're playing Norwich New Year's Day, so
it's all going for a circle, isn't it?
Hopefully a repeat of itself.
And the thing is, we are a decent side at Christmas and Easter, so let's hope this is the start of a decent run again. I mean, we've got to look onwards and upwards, haven't we, Tyler, really?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you guys for coming on, Mike, as always, and Jess.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Lovely
you,
to meet
first
you.
appearance.
Thank you.
Good debut.